Welcome back to an episode of In the Chute. Calen, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, how does one set up a ranch YouTube studio? Because you have this amazing backdrop, and I've just got a small little thing in the back. Actually, it's like a clothing divider that I grabbed off Amazon,
Huh.
and it's just a thing to help kind of make something a little more, I guess, less disruptive and less um I don't know, take people's attention away from what really should be paying attention, which is the conversation. So what does one do to set up a studio, all the things that go with it? Because obviously you have a microphone, some sort of a camera device, lighting, I would assume. I know you do because it's a leading question, but there's all the other stuff in the background, the props. So how does one go about doing that? And yeah,
So you're basically wanting to know about the behind the scenes scene.
sure. Yeah.
This is easy. This is so easy.
I know where this is going.
You know where I'm headed with this. You mentioned it one time. Well, we had a curtain at one point that hid just the stuff, and I don't know. We might have had one episode where the little
It
rope
fell
come
down.
down and fell, a little wardrobe malfunction, not like Janet Jackson, but close. And anyway, your mother says, "Well, we need to change this." So I just kind of did what I was told. She thought was a great idea. We had some old pallets laying around, believe it or not, and that's what we got in the background. I spent a considerable amount of time hacking up pallets, and then her artistic eye directed me how to place them and what to do. And I don't know, I think she did a pretty good job. It actually looks pretty nice. And then the color on the wall, that's dark color for a contrast. I said, that's a really dark color. I don't think that's going to work. That's too dark. And no, it's apparently just perfect.
Well, it
So
was originally too dark,
yeah, it was.
and then she lightened it.
She did lighten it a little bit. Yeah. But like some of the stuff, the irons in the back, branding irons, I mean, that's just stuff that those irons are really large, and we don't very seldom do we use irons that large. And if we had to, I'd just pull them off the wall, go use them, clean them up, and bring them back, or, knock the char off of them. And
Right.
over my shoulders, my grandpa's shaps, a lariat, his lariat up above that too. I know it was his because of some of the marks on it, how it was used. And then we just got just some various things, a couple of photographs, spurs, stirrups, different items just to throw up in there. So that's
Now,
how it comes to be. An idea sparked by necessity. And then your mother and her always wanted to do something with pallets. Get rid of these
well,
pallets. We got to build something with pallets.
hey, she did a fantastic job of recycling.
She did a great job. Oh, she's always about recycling something, reusing something. She calls it recycling. I just call it going to the bone pile and getting something you need. So you were smart enough to save years before.
The currently, because of our situation with different places and recording, we use Zoom. But what about the other technical things that you use specifically in the studio at the ranch?
Well, this is all set up by you. Let's be honest. You're the techno guy.
Score to Calen.
Yeah, that's right. Up into the microphone, earbuds, the computer, uh, the camera, the lamp, the lighting, how it's set, the whole works. I mean, look, let's face it, I'm just a talent here. That's all.
Well, at least you know how to start up Zoom and push. Well, you don't even push record. I do that. You just sit
Yep.
there.
I can. I think I probably could. I could do it. It's just a little bit painfully slow, and I'm unsure what. But no, I can get through it. I can Zoom things if I need to, and my other part of my life, I have to be prepared to do that. So it happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say the big thing is it's the unique thing for us for now too, which I just looked it up, 372 days from the time of this recording until I will have to no longer be doing this, but we'll probably have a better camera setup and everything. But for now, it's through Zoom. We do, obviously a typical almost like an invite, and then we just record the invite. But
Yeah.
the other thing too is we have the same microphones. At one point, we had two different microphones. Now it's the same one because I liked this quality a little bit better. That's not to say we won't necessarily get better microphones in the future, but for now, these are actually doing a pretty solid job, I think,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to recording. There's a whole lot of USB splicers that we've got added into things. So they go into the USB port of the camera, and they splice into the USB ports of all the things we've got, like a light. I have two ring lights plus the office light up ahead, the microphone itself. I've got a hard drive this is always connected to, so I can immediately save onto the hard drive. And then, of course, I've got the computer camera, which is not from the computer itself, it's an external camera. And I think Dad does as well if we set him
Yeah.
up correctly. Yep.
Yeah. It's just sits, the camera sits on top of the screen, and
Yeah.
I can close a little shutter if I need to for, I don't know why you would do that other than, I
Right.
guess maybe dust, if you had a dusty atmosphere, but well, and there's some other things that go on here that, my phone, I use my phone a lot to
Right.
capture images and narrate things that are going on so that when it goes on uh to you, you can edit, pull together, and really the editing portion is, I know that's substantial, but I don't do any of that really. I used to kind of tell you what I thought, but I would give you timestamps, and yeah,
Right.
you really would rather go through the whole thing yourself anyway. So it's like I just send them to you.
At
Uh,
one point when I was just trying to crank him out because we needed to crank him out, I would cut where he was, and essentially I would do plus or minus 2 seconds to find exactly what he was talking about. But after that, I was like, yeah, there's some things that there's context for. So I would take things that were cut out, add them to some of the things that were left in that I was like, it's getting on the boring meter. We're seeing the same thing for 30 seconds and people are going to click. So let's pull that, cut it in half and zoom through and all sorts of different things. But yeah, I mean, we don't have like the highest quality things because anybody that knows in the tech industry, like USB ports are not necessarily the best for getting the quality of your devices,
hmm.
but they suffice for now. So we don't have a real mixer in terms of microphones or headphones yet, but we will some one day. So you'll probably end up seeing us with actual headphones on eventually for just sound quality purposes.
Oh, that's great.
Dad's excited. But the other thing too, like people might think there's a huge studio where Dad's sitting. I'm literally in the office in my house. I took a spare bedroom. I took an L-shaped desk that I bought at Staples that my dad helped me assemble, and I have papers and ideas and everything all over this thing, and I clear up enough room to make it look presentable to you on my side. But then on Dad's side, he has taken an old spare bedroom as well with a large closet to the side where we store some other things, but that's now turning into the office slash studio. So it's not like he's got a spacious area either. It's just
No.
a corner where the desk is thrown in sideways. So he's looking into the corner rather than at a single wall. And then he put the computer with a monitor, actually two monitors, which is fantastic, by the way, when I edit. And that's pretty much it. Like it's not, I would say between the two of our little studio sections, we probably don't fill up more than 20 square feet.
Uh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's pretty
But
small.
that's part of that's the amazing thing with technologies too. I mean,
Right.
everything's smaller. You set this up, and when you were home at Christmas time, I was like, yeah, okay, here it is. I feel like my grandpa with the flashing 12 on the radio clock because the hell do I know? And honestly, it's kind of neat to be able to do things, but this is not my interest. The
Yeah.
technology part of that, I kind of like to use it, but when I have to. But I remember getting that cell phone the first time. It was a smartphone, and I got so frustrated with it because it wouldn't make a call, or I couldn't get it to do it. I threw the damn thing across the room. I went, "Oh
I
my
remember
God,
that.
what have I done?" I was just so frustrated. I mean, I spent several hours before I finally snapped. But
The thing is too, like I actually don't enjoy the technology either. I just have been forced to learn with it the last couple of years with my real job. And so
yeah,
I'm just familiar enough with it that I'm the one that happens to get suckered into it.
well, if you don't do it, nobody else is going to.
Yeah,
That's
because I know
that's the
mom and dad definitely
you
won't.
know
Dad's a step up better than mom, and my brother is much more talented and his abilities are much better than mine when it comes to technology, but he chooses not to use them.
chooses not to. Yeah, that's right.
So here I am. So
And it's scary that I'm better at this than your mother is because I was born in the wrong damn century. I mean,
Listen, at least I can talk you through things. Like you and I understand things when we talk to each other. I can say the same things to mom, and I have to. All right, you know the big red button? Okay, go to the right.
oh, she's good at pushing big red buttons. Believe me, she
It
knows
doesn't,
about that.
I know, but it's just like I have to use descriptive things of, okay, okay, just take your phone and call me with your phone and be on the computer while you do it. Okay, see
Right?
that big red button? Go to the right of it. See that opening that's kind of squarish? That's a USB port. We need to use that. She's not
Yeah,
quite that bad, but it's almost there. So,
yeah. It's challenging, and from the first broadcast that we did or video that we made, we've already jumped, I mean, a couple of times in the technologies. And it just amazes me what's possible. And I know that we're not using, and I'm certainly not. I use what I need. I don't go looking to, you know, improve and do things that are going to be better quality. I mean, that's just not what I'm doing in anything I do with the technology. I just need it to work.
yeah.
And of course I grew up without a TV, and then when we first got a TV, it was so snowy you could hardly see an image. But man, I thought that was outstanding. I mean, you you'd shoot that TV today if it was like that. If you can't see the pores in people's skin, then you don't have a good enough definition. It's like
Right.
some things should be left a little fuzzy, I think.
Yeah, maybe so. Anyway, that's us in our YouTube studio. So if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below.
Yeah,
Other than that,
tell us what would look better. What would be better?
that's true.
You
That'll
never
help us
know
in the future.
what somebody comes up with that is an improvement.
Yeah. Go ahead and leave those comments below, folks. But other than that, we'll take this conversation and we'll put it out to pasture.